Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nailed It Intuition and Tarot. I bring you a reading today on the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, and we'll be using the numerology cards to display the energy for both separately and how they are interacting together within the middle. So I want to thank you for being here today. Don't forget that tarot readings are for entertainment purposes. So if you see some aspect of yourself or your story in this reading, only take what brings you back to your own personal power. You do have your own guidance and intuition, and so please use common sense and judgment as you listen. You have free will and are never under any force or spell because of viewing my content. So the decks I'm going to be using today are the When Women Had Wings Tarot, the Witch's Tarot, and the Baroque Tarot, and the numerology guidance cards. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the decks shuffled as I speak the invocation. So at this time, I am calling upon the I Am Presence living within us and permeating all of creation and consciousness to join me now. I welcome you, the high angelic realm and universal healers of the highest vibration, into this space to surround, protect, and guide this reading. Any lower vibrational energies or entities that are not aligned with this highest truth are not welcome here and must leave now. Our souls have a plan. May this reading remove obstacles and reveal what is meant to be seen along the path of our souls so that we can shine our brightest light out into the world. And may the roads which lead to the manifestation of our truest soul desires be opened now, clearly, divinely guided, and with ease. My intention for this message is to deliver peace, love, truth, wisdom, and empowerment. May my understanding and speech be plain and clear so that only what is aligned with this intention is spoken. May those who are meant to hear this message receive the aforementioned, unperverted by fear or illusion. And so it is uttered, and so it is done. Okay. And I will use this deck for clarification, so I'm just going to set it to the side for now. And the shuffling might take a bit of time because I do like to get all the cards out on the table before we start the reading. So I will put a timestamp in the description for when the reading actually starts. And you can skip there. So this will be for the Divine Feminine. And please show me energies for the Divine Masculine. Self-love. Oh, look at that. All right, and in the middle, relationship change. Oh, how apropos. Nobody saw that coming. Okay, and for the Divine Feminine, please show me how the feminine is currently feeling towards the masculine. How is the feminine feeling towards the masculine? Okay, thank you. Thank you for guidance. Thank you for guidance. Okay. Okay, please show me the thoughts of the feeling towards the masculine. Thank you. Okay. Feelings, thoughts, and then actions. Actions, please. Actions. I'll readjust the cards so that we can get everything within view. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to scooch all this up. Okay, so on to the divine masculine. Please show me how the masculine's feelings toward the feminine. Thank you. Feelings towards the feminine. And here. Okay. And the thoughts towards the feminine. Thank you. Here. Actually, just kind of flip these over for the time being so I don't get distracted. And the actions towards the feminine. The actions towards the feminine. Okay, and here we have the outcome. Okay. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the death card for the divine masculine along with the self-love. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck for the feminine, we have the King of Cups. So it seems like the feminine is keeping her thoughts, feelings to herself a bit. Lots of emotional maturity here. And the masculine is maybe going through some changes with the death card, some kind of ego death as they strive to love themselves a bit more. And for the divine feminine, the perseverance card. So I'm getting this energy that the feminine is really having to push through towards overcoming or getting through a sticky situation or something that may be perceived as difficult, or maybe even some feelings of dissatisfaction and just having to press on and move forward, which is why we see the King of Cups coming up in the energy of the feminine. I'm feeling this very like needing to be a grown-up, needing to check in with the emotions, but not letting the emotions impact how we need to show up on a day-to-day basis. So we'll see where this goes. So this top row is the feelings of the divine feminine towards the masculine. And this is the masculine feelings toward the feminine. And this is the bond that they share in the beginning. So we will start with the divine feminine here. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay, so I get the feeling from this that the divine feminine may be taking some stock and inventory of how love has shown up in their life. You know, are they getting what they want out of love? Are they like what they've wanted in love in the past? Does that still resonate with who they are? Are they, you know, I feel the divine feminine being asked to see if the things that she has, you know, and it's gender fluid, okay? I just say he or she for ease of speaking. But if the things that the feminine has been desiring and established for herself in the area of love, is it truly what she wants? Is it what she desires? You know, there's like a skeptical looking at how love is showing up in her life, as if, you know, is this enough? Is this what I want? Do I need something different? Because I'm thinking about these pentacles as being like weeds in a garden or like flowers in a garden, and like really assessing it as like, you know, are there any weeds in this garden? And I feel like the feminine wants to have a payoff, wants to have evidence of it, and for whatever reason is not feeling, you know, I get the impression that the feminine is not feeling like truly satisfied with how love has shown up, and feeling like there needs to be more. Now, also, this is about like choices that the feminine has made in love. If the choices that have gotten us, you know, gotten her garden to where it is currently, how's that working out for me? Has it yielded the fruit that I wanted it to yield? So this is definitely like a reevaluation, and I feel like, sitting with this perseverance card, that there's definitely a wanting here, or some type of like undercurrent of not enough, and just having to chop wood, carry water, muster through it, push through it, persevere through it, in the meantime, because I feel that there is more that the feminine is wanting in the area of love here. And the masculine towards the feminine in the feelings department, we have the Fool card reversed and the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm feeling this is as the masculine is if this feminine relating directly to having missed out on some opportunity with the feminine, and not pursuing, not embarking on any real ventures toward the feminine as well. I'm almost feeling this as the masculine is kind of focusing on their own self-care, their own self-love. I mean, that's the card that we have here, and is having to just focus on mothering themselves a bit, like what's going to make them feel better. I get the feeling that the masculine has had some type of emotional upset or turmoil prior to this, some type of death, I guess, ego death, that has led to taking on this journey of self-love. And which is the reason that, it's like I can't really be too focused on the feminine at this time, because I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on loving myself and valuing myself, and maybe even towards career goals. But I really do believe that this has more to do with self-love. And so the bond that they share in the middle, we've got the Hierophant and the Star card in reverse. Healing here is taking a priority. I feel that there is a spirit of not having one's wishes granted. And again, like maybe wanting, it's like the efforts that they've taken to manifest love in the past have not worked or been helpful. It's caused some type of death, for ego death, where the masculine is coming from, and as it relates to the feminine too. So neither really has a focus on coming together, and it seems like they're both trying to reestablish a new framework or belief for themselves, because what they once believed, or what they thought they believed, didn't work for them in some regard with the Star card. So if they had a way that they went about dating, or if they had a way that they went about understanding relationships, so say that they had some type of like religious background that informed how they were wanting to pursue relationships, or if they, use their parents' relationship as an example of how love should show up in somebody's life. Something about what they believed and what they've seen traditionally is not working. And I feel like that's why we have the relationship card here, because I feel like both parties are just looking for something different. They're changing in such a way that what they used to pursue is no longer a viable option. And so we'll keep moving and let the story unfold here. And I feel like I want to take this here. So we have the Four of Wands and the King of Pentacles for how the feminine is thinking about the masculine. And so the feminine indeed, wants partnership, wants a solid foundation. And I feel like the feminine wants the company of a strong masculine. And I don't mean that as like an alpha type of male, but I feel with the King of Pentacles, like someone reliable, someone who is able to provide safety, security, you know, financially, also like in the home, but has like a stable personality and like consistency, steadfastness, some level of predictability. But I feel this more as like consistency, someone who's savvy and like good with money, maybe a good businessman, or woman or person, you know, and King of Pentacles also, you know, this is a person who knows how to work with other people and is very good at like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like politics, but I don't mean like politics literally, but has some type of like strategy and ways of like seeing various outcomes and knowing like the best way to proceed or move forth. This is decisioning, okay? Like very solid and grounded in making decisions. Thank you for letting me get there. Like I'm cooking. Here it comes. So the feminine, and I feel like this also is just like reliable partnership. Like they want something that they can be in and celebrate. And you know, this is like the best of both. Like somebody who knows how to take care of business and have fun with. And you know, I'm thinking of this, you know, we had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. Like there's like this happy type of like celebratory energy that I feel like the feminine is thinking about, and like the type of person that they would need to call in or be yoked with to create this type of experience. And I feel like this is something that the feminine has not yet had before. You know, maybe it was fun, but like they didn't know how to take care of business, or they were all business and no fun. So, you know, the feminine doesn't want to choose anymore, and wants both. Okay. And so the masculine here, and I'm feeling this also with the feminine, it's like wanting to be held, wanting to be like covered in a way, okay, by the masculine. Like, so this is really like the definition of like some type of like physical protection also, like and constancy also. Okay, and so the masculine's thoughts about the feminine is, I'm seeing the King of Wands and the King of Cups. So I'm seeing the masculine starting to, it's like before I can make an offer, I feel like before the masculine feels like they can make an offer, they're looking to regain some type of passion. Okay, it's also I don't know if the masculine also is having to question their sexuality also, but that was just a side thought. For the most part, I feel like before the masculine can make an offer, they have to find something that that inspires them, something that this is very feeling based for the masculine with these wands here, because the wands energy is, to me, is very like primal, and with the Knight of Cups here, it's feeling. So this is interesting because usually the masculine is focused on like very like tangible things, like such as the pentacles that we see here. But it's really like their motivation is being redefined, I feel. They're wanting to offer a cup and pursue something for them that they feel a level of authority and passion about. Something about this has to arouse them. And I don't mean like sexually, even though that could be, because it is a wand, but I'm not feeling it in that regard. I'm feeling this more as something that has like a guiding light or like a guiding star. Like it has to speak to like their soul purpose in order for them to get their feelings behind it. All right. I feel that the masculine may have been in situations where they led more with passion than with heart. And so I feel like they're looking for relationships or even within themselves to see, you know, is my heart in it first, and then I can eventually get behind that in my passion, in my initiative, in the actions that I'm willing to take towards the feminine. There may have definitely been like an element of caring that has been missing. I also see this as rejecting any offers or advancements. Yeah. We've got the, you know, the bond between them showing up as the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Any advancements that are being made to them, I do feel like this masculine is kind of turning the other cheek and not really giving it too much thought or consideration. Things for both of them, it's like, you know, I'm getting this vision of like somebody having a lot of like coins in their pocket and then just throwing them up in the air. That's how I feel about this 7 of Cups. Like, we don't know how it's going to land. It can land anywhere. It can land anyhow. You know, all we know, and this is a bit melancholic also, if I can be honest. As this redefinition is taking shape, is taking form, you know, they realize that they can't go back to how things were, how things used to be. And, you know, I like the fact that this 9 of Swords is in reverse, because I feel like this is something that had like created a lot of like trouble and anxiety for them in the past. And I don't feel like it's still causing that intense level of desire. I'm seeing this as like, you know, this was very troubling for me once upon a time, but instead of being troubled, this has kind of just shifted into like despondency and apathy in a way. I mean, it's not the 4 of Cups, but like how his back is turned to these 2 of Cups, like he's not seeing them. And I almost feel like this is a choice to not look at these 2 cups. So they're just not super focused on relationships. You know, I'm getting this very like, I don't know, like, how do you feel? Like, I don't know, type of energy about it. I get the feeling that it's difficult to envision how things can be different, because neither of them have met this version of themselves before, and neither of them knows what this version of themselves is attracted to. You know what I'm saying? So like, say that you've been a person that is like super like work driven, and your job meant everything, and you're having like an ego death where like your job doesn't mean everything. It's like, if you were looking for a partner who had like similar interests as yours, you may have been looking for someone also whose job meant everything. And now that you no longer feel that way, you're wondering, if I'm not focused on my job anymore, you know, what does that mean for the kind of partner that I'm trying to create with? And so I feel like there's just a lot of like, I don't know here that's coming. I feel like the feminine is has the feeling of what that looks like. Like both of them actually have have a feeling of what that might be looking like for them. I think the masculine just knows that he needs to be passionate about it, and the feminine knows that I need to feel covered. Okay, but they don't know how this is going to how this is going to play out. Okay, so in the bottom, okay, pause as I create space on my table so that you can see all the cards. All right, have to keep saying this. If you've watched me before, you know that this is like something that gets my goat all the time. Okay, looks like they're in view. All right, so for the feminine, oh wow. This is in the actions, and my deck is not in reverse, y'all. So in the actions, we have the 6 of Wands reverse, 5 of Wands reverse, and the Tower in reverse. I'm feeling this is the feminine is just like, give it up, turn it loose. That's how I'm feeling this. Like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not worrying about this. This isn't my problem. You know, like, this is a release is what this is. Like I said, I feel like there has been so much like discontent and restlessness that the feminine has been through. And feminine is just like, you know, with this 6 of Wands in reverse, it's like, what I was doing didn't work. I'm tired of being at conflict with myself about it. So I'm just going to let this tower fall. Like, I'm not dealing with it. Like it, but it's not in a like giving it up, like I quit type of energy. Oh, well, okay. It is I quit. Like, I feel like the feminine is quitting doing it this way. And it's almost like, I don't know how to fix this, or it just needs to play out, or I can't worry about this right now because, yeah, I just feel like the feminine can't worry about it right now. And so the best action sometimes is no action. And also just like giving it up to the universe, like giving it up to God. Like I feel a bit of like giving it to God type of energy with this. Because you just can't like, you don't, like, a feminine doesn't know what else to do with it. Can you please clarify these cards? Like, the Tower has fallen. Like, what I thought was gonna work doesn't work anymore, and I need something new to come in, and there's just not this idea. Yeah, there's just not this idea of how this is gonna work out. Yep, 2 of Cups in reverse, 7 of Cups, and Ace of Wands. Like, there's a desire for this to start over and begin again. There's a desire. It's almost like the desire for connection is taking a back seat to figuring oneself out and figuring out what truly matters to them, to the feminine. Okay, Page of Cups and the High Priestess, and very similar energy for the masculine here, because the High Priestess takes no action also, as very passive. And the masculine, as this Page of Cups is starting to focus on self-love, tapping into play, tapping into, you know, what brings them a sense of joy and levity, and having a good time, who they need to forgive, if they need to forgive themselves. So the feminine energy is really strong over here with this masculine collective that I'm tapping into. You know, the masculine here really seems to be going through a bit of a healing process. And it's like, as they're changing, like, I can't worry about the feminine. And same thing with the feminine. I feel like the feminine doesn't really know where to apply action because she has changed. And so it's the same result, but how they got to it is different. You know, it almost feels like the masculine is finally taking a feminine approach, and the feminine is taking, this is happening with the feminine in a masculine way. Yeah, because the masculine is like loving and healing, and the feminine is like persevering, you know? So we both, everyone has both energies within them. So this is not unusual, but it's just interesting when it shows up so clearly like that in the cards. Okay, and then the outcome energy we have here, the Six of Pentacles and the Justice. Wow. Six of Pentacles and the Justice. Well, they know that, you know, one thing about both of these cards, it's like it has to be balanced. I feel such a, like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And like, as these energies balance out within them respectively, they might be at a point where they're ready to come together. But how they are interacting at this time, or what I see, I feel this is like baby steps. This is like very slow, measured action or intention that is very reciprocal in nature. Like, it has to be balanced. It has to be reciprocal. And this is what they're going to be looking forward to in the future. This energy does not rush. This energy takes its time, and it's constantly weighing. Like, if I send a text, they send a text. Like, if I call, they call. Like, those are very bad examples, but it's just to make sure that the action across both parties is equivalent and like equally yoked and balanced on both sides. And I love this because, you know, if they come from a previous way of going about things where they have gotten into situations kind of like recklessly or without thinking it through, this has that energy of like dotting every I, crossing every T, making sure that the math is mathing. And, you know, this can't just be a relationship or an interaction based off of passion and like sex or like fun. Like, it has to hit every bullet point. It has to, you know, soothe me holistically, like mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. It has to be psychologically safe. Like, the income has to make sense. You know, how we're dividing the roles has to make sense. We each have to be putting forth equal effort. And this is a relationship change that I feel like these cards are talking about, because it's like, we can't afford, they have more to lose. They have more to lose this next time around, and they can't afford to dilly-dally and just rush into something without pausing and thinking it through and reading the fine print. You know, I see this as like someone easing their way into partnership and not really just like giving themselves over. Okay, just a couple clarifying cards for this outcome energy, if anything else needs to be said. Okay, I have here the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, because they have constantly felt in conflict and cross purposes. Like, they were in competition with their partner. They don't want to feel like they have to choose between, you know, doing for me and doing for my partner. It's almost like they want both of those energies to be aligned, and they want their partner not just to be good for them, but to also be right. Because, you know, you can have a partner that feels good, but it don't feel right. Or a partner that feels right, but it don't feel good. And it's like, I don't want to have to choose. I want both. And so that's what I feel like these parties, you know, are really going to take a more of like a measured approach to partnership. Oh, the Six of Pentacles again, like where the give and take is equal. Like I'm not showing up giving all this and the person isn't giving anything. And it doesn't even have to be, it's like in equal measure to the, you know, say this is like love languages, like in equal measure. If my love language is quality time and their love language is like giving gifts, it's like, am I giving them quality time to the measure that they're giving me gifts? Or am I giving them, if it's like words of affirmation and acts of service, it's like, am I giving words of affirmation to the degree that they are providing acts of service? You know, speaking to each other's love languages, and also making sure that along the way you are also giving, that they are also giving. Okay. And, you know, this doesn't always have to be in relationship to, you know, separate entities. Okay. Like a masculine male or like a masculine human and a feminine human. Okay. This could be how the energies are playing out within you as well. So if this is all happening inside of you, I feel lots of rest. I just feel lots of rest, lots of self-reflection, tuning in. I think journaling would help because there's a lot of feeling here, but not a lot of swords. And so maybe how the masculine and feminine are getting along, they have a lot going on the inside, but haven't gotten to the point where they can verbalize it or articulate it. And maybe that understanding where it's being spoken hasn't come out. These are just energies happening within them that are trying to reorganize. And it's like, for the time being, we can't do anything until the mental body has had time to catch up to the spiritual and emotional body. So this is, you know, this is a nice pause. This is good retrograde energy, I feel like, because where it needs to head in the future is definitely you know, this, I'm sorry, I lost my words for a moment, but like where this is heading for the outcome energy, where like both are looking for balance, is definitely how those masculine energies should play out inside of a person, but also, you know, within a relationship, if that's what this is talking about. So I'm going to close out with a message from the universe. Oh my God, we're at 38 minutes. Ugh. Okay. That flew right out. You are safe. You are protected. The worst is behind you, and you are ready to move beyond the challenges that were set from you. Lessons have been learned. It's safe for you to trust your path. Yeah, this is such a good way to close out the reading. Both of these energies are changing. They're evolving. They're leveling up. And the next level up of a person's consciousness requires leveled up action, leveled up desires, and potentially a leveled up partner too. So here are my nails, y'all, in my ashy hands. But I hope you enjoyed the reading and you like my reading style and messages. If so, don't forget to like, thumbs up, subscribe, hype me up. I don't even know if my videos have that option at this point, but like, share, and comment on this video. This has been really fun. And I will see you on the next reading. Take good care. Bye-bye.